Hi, welcome to The Real
Healthy You.
That's Barbie over there.
That's me. That's Jamie over there.
Jamie, and we're excited to be seeing you, or you seeing us, coming out of our podcast. So we are now on YouTube, which is pretty cool for us to be on another platform besides just audio and podcast. So hopefully this is going to be an exciting and new venture for all of us. So we're going to try something else. We're going to try 30-minute episodes. So we have a timer, and when the 30 minutes alarm rings, we're going to stop where we are, wrap it up, and go on to the next part for the next week.
Like a cliffhanger or?
Yeah, it might be a cliffhanger. It might be. From in the middle of a sentence, like, I don't know. Maybe not that bad. It'll take us back to old school. Any people like old school folks like us who remember when you used to watch episodes of your favorite show, like once a week it would come on, and it would end with something like dun, na, 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 and it would pop, and you're like, what's going to happen? And you didn't know because you had to wait till the next episode. Anybody remember that? Put it in the comments below if you remember that. Please, because
I don't know if I liked it. Liked it.
Well, I don't know if you liked it or not, but you had to wait.
I know, and I didn't know if I wanted to wait.
Well, you did, though,
You
didn't you?
did.
Because you
I
were
did,
right back
yeah.
there next week at
Sure
8:30
was.
or whatever.
It's like the soap operas.
Exactly. You know, those of you who are under like 30 probably have no idea about that because you had everything's on demand. So you get it, you watch it, you binge watch every episode. If it's a cliffhanger, you just wait 5 seconds and you watch the next one. And the cliff is not hanging anymore, right? But anyway, we are going to get we're going to get started with this episode, which is talking about why can't I lose weight? What is the problem? What's stopping me? What's this plateau that I might be on?
Well,
and maybe why I'm actually gaining weight for no reason that you can explain. So there could be 7 possible reasons.
Yeah.
I mean, there's probably a lot, but we're going to focus on 7. And hopefully you can systematically go through these reasons, check each one, and see if any of these is the culprit for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so we all struggle with our weight in different ways, whatever that might be. Some people trying to gain weight, some people trying to lose weight, some people up and down, yo-yos, all sorts of stuff. I mean, I'm postmenopausal, so for me, I'm running into this wall of what's going on. What used to worked all the time. I never really thought about it. But now what used to work isn't working anymore. What's happening? I don't understand. And this happens, different life stages, whether you're a man or a woman, you go through these stages in life where your body, your situation, your circumstance, your environment, whatever, changes. And it changes your body's makeup and how it's dealing with life.
And I think I'm at the stage where I'm learning how the body's makeup and the stage of life. Whereas I'm learning so many things and so many things are changing, I'm starting to see that the body is responding now.
Yeah.
It actually talks to me. I'm amazed to hear how it tells me, no, I don't want that.
Yeah.
In so many different ways, only because I've come to the stage now where I have worked on it.
Yeah.
I have reduced those toxins. I have really learned so many things, like you know better, you do better. And because I learned those things, I'm so in tune now that I can literally hear it.
Yeah. And so, you know, your body talks to you all the time. Your body, since you're a little kid. And little kids listen a lot more because they don't really know what they don't know. So they'll come and go, my stomach hurts. I don't, they listen. Their body's like, I don't want that. You try to give the kids something like, I don't want that. Their body's telling them no. And we're all like, you got to eat this, eat it anyway. Like, we don't realize that we're pushing against the innate intelligence of their own bodies. But as you get into it more and more, you'll listen to your body, you'll hear it also. But your body is definitely saying something. It's a matter of whether you hear it or not, right? So the better you get at it, the more you can identify what it's saying.
It takes years.
For sure. And so the life stages, I mean, different things, new job, relocating. It could be a family. Your family dynamic changes anyway, whether you get married, divorced, not married, whether you're feeling stressed about this or that, or whether you're traveling a lot, or You have a new baby. You know, there's so many things that change in your life so that your body has to now make adjustments. And this is what we're talking about. During all these adjustments, all of a sudden it's like, what's happening? I can't lose weight. What's happening? Mm-hmm. And so obesity and being overweight and obese is a big problem in the United States. And frankly, worldwide, it's becoming an amazing problem. We're not even the number one, United States, in obesity. Mm-hmm. We're not even the number one. So 1 out of 4 adults, that's 40% of adults, mm-hmm. are overweight. And children, about 36% of them are overweight or obese. Mm-hmm. We have 1 out of 3 adults are actually obese. So we're looking at 30, 40, 50, 70% of the adults mm-hmm. in America are either overweight
yep.
or obese. Mm-hmm. And that means you mm-hmm. are, it's not much to be overweight, guys. I think it might be something like 30 or 40 pounds makes you overweight. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's on the lower end, but it's still.
That's right.
Right?
Oh, that's right.
So it doesn't take a whole lot.
And it started with the SAD diet.
Oh, for sure.
Believe it or not.
Yeah,
that's
sure.
exactly where it started.
And with the sugar, like when the whole corn and the sugar,
mm-hmm.
but I mean, we've had shows on this, so you can definitely go back and listen to some of those things. Mm-hmm. But at this point, you're kind of like, no matter what I do, no matter what I eat, mm-hmm. No matter how much I exercise, mm-hmm. it just, the weight won't budge.
Won't go.
It's just really stuck. Mm-hmm. And we want to help with some reasons. So let's hit the timer.
Okay.
And let's start talking
ready?
About our reasons. Go.
Start.
All right. So we're going to count down. So reason number 7 is what? What is reason number 7 as to why we can't lose weight and we're trying our hardest and we can't?
Well, number 7 could be eating more than you realize.
Just that simple.
Eating more than you realize.
You don't realize how many carbs you're taking in or how much sugar you're taking in. You don't realize it. Mm-hmm. They're either hidden or secret carbs or
carb overload,
mm-hmm.
constant.
Yeah. Simple things that you don't realize, even fruit. I mean, you could be eating a ton of fruit. Maybe you're just a fruit person who loves it and you're eating multiple fruits or smoothies or things like that. Mm-hmm. And you think they're healthy and you think, oh, this is great. You're eating way too many carbs. And whatever your body type is, maybe your body's saying, hey, I don't need all this. I'm storing it all. I don't need it. So you may be eating more than you realize. Maybe you're eating too often. That's another thing.
That's a constant, though. It's funny how we were taught 3 meals a day, 2 snacks, 1 in between.
Oh, between breakfast and lunch is a snack.
Can you stand that?
And between lunch and dinner is a snack.
Can you stand that?
Yeah, so that's 5 times a day. You're spiking your insulin 5 times a day.
Constantly.
Or more if you're nibbling,
That's
if you're
right.
snacking in between. So how about if you eat lunch and then you have a snack later, mm-hmm. but then between the snacks, somebody comes in with something and say, hey, you want some of this? Sure, and you eat that. It's spiking your insulin all day. So that could be one reason why you're becoming insulin resistant.
Plus what you're eating, you got these hidden sugars, all these hidden carbs.
Yeah.
If you're not reading labels, you're getting all those. Those are all spiking your blood glucose levels.
For sure.
And the toxic.
Yeah.
It becomes very toxic because of the toxins that are involved also. So
exactly.
It's just...
So when we are eating so much, our glucose is just, insulin is flooding our body. And at a certain point, the body just doesn't listen. It just stores everything and that's a wrap. So we don't want to be eating so often because we want our body to burn the fat that we already have for energy. If we keep giving it food and it's storing and storing and storing, it's going to keep storing what you give it. It's not going to eat, use the fat that's already on your body. So we need to maybe stop eating so often.
So when you eat those high blood glucose levels, it becomes very toxic. You know, your body is supposed to have those glucose spikes, and they spike to a certain point. And once they did their job, now they need to get stored somewhere. They need to go somewhere. And if you keep giving that glucose, you keep giving it over and above what it needs, it's going to store. And that's where the fat comes in, because it stores in your fat.
Yeah.
So You want to be careful of that. You want to look for that. You want short-term energy. The next thing, eating late at night. That's could be a real big problem.
Yeah.
Because you're not really digesting.
Yeah. I guess there's a general rule: 2 to 3 hours before bed, stop eating. At night when you're sleeping, you don't want your body to be using that time to digest. You want that time to be used to do what you do at night, which is refresh, rejuvenate, detoxify, reboot the immune system, do all the things that your body's trying to do at night in the downtime. You don't want that to be the time where it's digesting, right? So that's eating late at night. It does tend to lead to weight gain. So we might think about that. So get a journal. We have a food and mood journal. You can definitely check into that. And I'll put the link in the notes that you can get the food and mood journal. And it helps you to keep up with when you're eating, what you're eating, but also how you're feeling, how the food's affecting you, keeping up with your sleep hours, and all sorts of things as an individual, not simply calories, but who you're being on a daily basis and what parts of your body are thriving and what parts aren't. So that can help you a lot to look back over and see, okay, what kind of sleep are you getting? What kind of eating are you doing, and all of that. And you may discover that you're eating too late at night.
Yeah.
You're not giving your body enough time to digest it before you lay down. So that can be a problem.
Yeah, it can give you reasons for your weight stalls. It can give you your weight gain. It'll give you reasons. You're writing it all down.
For sure. So that can fit into eating too late at night or before bed. That's a problem.
Yeah.
So that is the seventh reason. We're starting with reason number 7 is eating more than you realize.
Yeah.
In all of those forms.
So another one we want to look at is not eating enough for too long a period of time. Yeah. So I've been guilty of that for years and years and years. Matter of fact, Jamie, you've been on me for that for so many times. There's a calorie count. We eat so many calories a day. Some people eat 1,200 rather. Some eat 1,400. It depends
2,000.
2,000 or whatever. Of course, I'm the one that says, 1,200 is the limit for me, and so I'll do 1,200 calories. This is for years. We're talking years. 1,200 calories and not losing weight. And I'm saying, I must have to do 1,100. And that didn't work. Maybe it's 1,000. And I'm going, what is going on?
Less.
Well, what's going on is my body is telling me, forget you. You're not nice. And I'm not going to support you no longer. I'm going to make you weak and frail, and you're stupid. And I get it. But I couldn't stop it, because in my psychological brain, or my brain psychologically, it was telling me, if you eat less, you're gonna lose weight. Right. Because that's what we were taught. Yes. Because remember that pyramid
calories
thing?
In, calorie out. Yeah. If you want to lose weight, simply take in less than you're exerting. That's it.
Oh my gosh. And forget about nutrients, because in those days I knew nothing about nutrients except whatever that pyramid said. I obeyed, because I'm an obeyer. Right. I like to obey stuff. You tell me what to do and I'll do it. Never thought for a minute that I was starving myself.
Right.
And that's
you
what
weren't
I was
looking
doing.
At nutrients. You were looking at foods.
Eat
these foods,
right.
Eat those foods. It wasn't broken down into what nutrients those foods had. It just was, these are the good foods, these are the bad foods. And if you cut back, you'll lose weight. But as you cut back, your body, you're telling your body, I don't have enough food. And your body has really one job. Well, one job. 2 jobs, really. Reproduction is one job, but we'll put that to the side. So aside from that, your body's other job is to live, to survive. That's the body's job. So how you look, how you get past the finish line is irrelevant, as long as you stay alive. So the body is saying, if you don't have enough food, I'm going to store what I can. I'm going to ration everything. your metabolism is going to start to slow down and conserve energy.
Right.
It's going to keep the stores. It's going to very, very greedily keep its stores and not release it because it's afraid that it's not secure in its survival. You're starving yourself, right?
Exactly.
So even though you may not feel starving, your body is definitely getting that message, and the brain is like, alert, alert, everybody, stop, slow down, we're starving.
And in those days, nutrients, getting the right nutrients was not even in my radar, because as far as the pyramid was concerned, and as far as food in general, in our produce, in our meats and whatever, those vegetables, fruits, were, we would just consider those are perfectly fine. We would never think that they weren't being produced right, or that there were chemicals, or they're preservatives. Sure. We would never have thought of that. At least I had never thought of that. Never would that have ever entered my mind.
That wasn't the way it was. We weren't thinking about those things. Yeah, you're right.
So as far as nutrients, if I got the fruit, no matter where I got the fruit from, it was perfect. Yeah. According to the way the world was, but it wasn't perfect.
Right.
Anyway, so I wasn't into all of that.
Right.
And now I am. So when you know better, you do better.
Yeah.
And now I am.
So reason number 6 is restricting your calories too much for too long. That's so take a look at that. Like, what are you eating? Are you nourishing your body? Are you giving it the nutrients that it needs? Or are you withholding and training the body systematically to hold on to every ounce that it has? When it feels safe and it feels nourished and it feels like it is in abundance, then it can release all of the fat that it's holding. But until it feels that way, it won't. So that means you need to eat a healthy, balanced diet as opposed to restricting yourself.
You have to look at the quality of the food that you're eating.
Yes, for sure.
It's not about the calories. It's about the quality of the fruit the food that you're eating, getting those nutrients.
Yes.
So that your body's absorbing nutrients.
Right.
Not calories.
Right. So the quality of your food rather than the quantity.
That's right.
But then the quantity comes in next. So take a look at that as one of your reasons, and let's see if maybe this is one of the reasons why you're struggling to lose weight, or if maybe you're even gaining because your body's trying to beef up its fat stores to survive, right?
Oh yeah, the 2019 study. You know, they had a 2019 study that they did where they found that eating processed foods seems to promote people or prompt people to eat more.
And to gain weight and hold weight.
That's right, to eat more calories compared to eating real and whole foods.
Right.
And that's what I mean about really looking at what kind of foods you're eating for your nutrients rather than the calories. So, and it's funny too, because in that study they took about 20 people, 10 men, 10 women, you know, and they were split into 2 groups. And what they did was they were offered meals with the same nutrients, the same number of calories, and as well as similar amounts of sugar, sodium, fat, fiber, you know, the whole thing, the whole micronutrients. But there was one key difference. One group was given unprocessed foods. Unprocessed. You know, we're into processed foods all the time. But they were given unprocessed foods, and the other group was given ultra-processed options. And so after 2 weeks, the groups switched, and then they ate the other type of diet for the following 2 weeks. And people who had the ultra-processed food, they were the ones that gained the weight. So you want to vary your eating cycle also, but with that processed food, if you're eating processed food, that's the results you're going to get. You are going to gain weight. So you got to be aware of that. You don't want processed foods ever. I mean, ever. And that's what we have out here now.
A lot of ultra processed. And when we say processed, we mean ultra processed, because food has to be processed on some level just to get out of the field to our to our kitchen. But we mean ultra processed, all of the processes that
Ultra-processed,
destroy the
yes.
natural state that the food was in the first place. So so that's another reason. So take a look at that reason. So now maybe you get through those two reasons and go, oh, well, those don't seem to be my issue. Well, maybe number 5 is your issue, and that is weight loss resistance. So weight loss resistance is a big, big thing. Again, this is a more recent phenomenon. We didn't really have that when I was growing up. People weren't weight loss resistant per se. And if they were, nobody really knew anything about it or understood it. But then again, 1 in 4 adults weren't obese when I was growing up either. So weight loss resistance is when your body is purposely resisting losing weight. And it's doing it because of different reasons. So one could be insulin resistance. It could be insulin. So you're heading towards diabetes. Maybe you already have diabetes. You're pre-diabetic, whatever. And the insulin is starting to dysregulate. And so you're having issues with sugar, glucose, when you eat carbs, and it turns into sugar, and the insulin spiking and all of that stuff. And what's happening is your body is no longer listening. It's just you flooded it with insulin for way too long, and now it just doesn't listen. So it resists the insulin. It won't allow the glucose to get inside the blood, so the glucose floats around in the bloodstream and causes havoc, and the body ends up not being able to lose the weight that the insulin would help it lose.
Plus, it goes into that fat storage.
Yes.
Remember that.
Yes.
When it's beyond the glucose that's needed to get it out of your blood system, the rest goes into fat storage. That's biggie for me.
Yeah, fat storage is a big deal.
That's biggie, I tell you.
Yeah, and it's something that if you don't change it, it won't change itself. It won't change itself. It's something that it won't just go away. You're not gonna say, I don't know what's going on. Hopefully it'll just go away soon and things will get back to, no. If you're insulin resistant, something has to be consciously done to change that, to make your cells now insulin sensitive instead of resistant. And so a lot of times you're going to get medicine. They're going to give you medicine to handle your insulin problem instead of your diet. And so we are definitely about the diet. There are some people who maybe might need some help with medicine or help with their insulin levels for a certain length of time until they can kind of get more into a diet-based solution. Yeah. But it can definitely be managed with diet. Absolutely can.
Oh, absolutely.
And science has proven that over and over and over again.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Our ancestors alone were following a feast and famine thing where they would just eat whatever was available in their seasons. Yeah. So it isn't like we have to eat every minute of every day for every day of
our lives.
Our lives. We don't have to do that. That's our bodies are supposed to be used to that feast and famine.
They are.
And that's how we were made. And so it's just sad to see that we need to think, and we've been doing it for years, so it isn't something that's going to happen overnight for you. Exactly. Got to be really intentional and saying, I really don't need this in my body. I don't really need my temple to deal with this stuff.
And intermittent fasting helps a lot with that, to help to make your cells more sensitive to insulin again. So getting into intermittent fasting, we definitely have some things that can help you with that. We did do a intermittent fasting challenge on YouTube, and so we'll put the links in below that you can go back and look at those videos and maybe get involved with, get yourself started on intermittent fasting. It was kind of from ground zero, and as well as people who had already been experienced. So you might use that. We have a book on fasting, intermittent fasting, Life Changes Fast. So you can go and get that. It's an ebook, and you can help yourself to learn intermittent fasting there as well. So there's a lot you can do to help reboot your system to kind of shake off this insulin resistance so that your body will then release the weight that it's holding.
Yeah, because, going back to the ancestors again, they didn't have food all the time.
Right.
But yet they adapted.
But we have food all the time. Everywhere you look, we have food. Food is
everywhere.
Access. I mean, I can literally eat every 30 minutes all day long.
Yeah.
And I don't mean a whole meal, but I can be putting something in my mouth.
constantly.
It might be a handful of crackers, and then a half an hour later, maybe it's some nuts, and then maybe an hour later, it's some grapes and strawberries, and then maybe an hour later, it's potato chips, and then an hour later, it's just constant, just bombarding your body.
And the body's not designed for that.
No,
that's not how we were created.
And it keeps telling you so, but we don't really listen. So yeah,
Too much abundance
you can go
around.
without eating for much longer than you think, but
believe me,
you can. You just got to work up to it. I don't expect you
days
just
and
to
days
do it
and days.
Absolutely,
that's
absolutely
for sure. That's for sure. And that's what they did.
Yeah.
That's what our ancestors did. They ate when food was available, and when it wasn't, they just fasted.
Yes, and fasting helps quite a bit with
the adaptation. We adapt. Our body adapts to it. That's
absolutely.
Right, exactly.
The other form of resistance that I wanted to make mention of is leptin resistance. So, I mean, I don't know how much you hear about leptin resistance, but it's definitely on the rise because, again, we're all struggling with all this obesity and weight gain. Leptin resistance is similar in the way that you flood your body and then it kind of shuts off. It's the same thing again with the insulin, but this is with leptin. And leptin is a hormone that helps your body to feel full, right? And it regulates that piece. Ghrelin is the hunger. It tells you eat. It's a hunger hormone. It's like, hey, it's time to eat. It tells you to eat. But leptin tells you, okay, you're full now. That's enough. Stop eating. You're full. You're going to notice, a lot of you out there are going to notice that you don't feel full. You just don't. You might stop eating because whatever reason, oh, maybe I ate enough or it's time to leave or whatever. But if you really sat there and ate and felt your stomach and felt yourself, you're going, wow, I don't feel full. Like I actually feel like I could eat some more. And maybe a half an hour later, you're like, I think I could eat some more. That's because your leptin signals are all off. They're not telling you, stop, you're full. And since you don't feel full, you just keep eating. And haven't you seen people? Haven't you gone somewhere, either with people you know, or maybe you're out somewhere and you see people with just tons of food, maybe in a restaurant or a fast food or something, and they're eating like an appetizer and then a salad and then food and then they get a side and then get another side and then they get and you're like, where are you putting all this food? Right? It's because the leptin is not saying stop, you're full. It's not. So if you don't feel satiated, you just keep eating. And then here we go in this cycle and it doesn't stop.
And that goes back to the same thing we keep saying, which is going to be constant through every one of these reasons.
Yeah.
If you're not eating clean, I call it clean.
Stop eating the table.
Good.
If you're not eating clean.
If you're not eating clean, wholesome food that your body is actually absorbing, you're always going to be hungry.
Yeah.
Because one thing, you got the sugar addictive anyway, that's going to constantly give you that.
Right.
But also, you're not getting any nutrients in your body.
Or so few that it's just not enough.
And your body is just craving something, anything.
Right. Yeah.
And you're in a cycle, a ridiculous, horrible cycle.
Yeah.
Because there's no way you can go for weeks without eating.
Yeah.
Literally.
You could.
But
by the way, we're not suggesting that you suddenly
don't do that.
Don't eat for weeks. We're not suggesting that. There is a way to go about not eating for weeks. There is a definite way to go about that. It's not something willy-nilly for sure.
Right. And you don't even have to ever go that road, but you have to be aware that route is a possibility. Because we're made that way. Yeah. And our bodies can handle that very well.
Right.
And matter of fact, the health benefits are amazing. Yes. When you're fasting. Yes, amazing.
There are a lot of them. And actually, we've done several shows on fasting. Whether it be intermittent fasting or water fasting, long-term fasting. So go back and listen to some of the shows on the podcast platform, and you can hear about some of that stuff. Right. But leptin resistance is real, and it does definitely feed into the weight gain. Gain, actually, not just not losing weight, but leptin tends to help you gain weight because not telling you you're full. You're eating way more than you need. You're not feeling satisfied, and it's storing like crazy, storing fat all over the place. So that's another thing. And both of those, insulin resistant, leptin resistant, weight loss resistance in general, can be combated with exercise.
Yes.
With sleep.
Yeah.
With lots of water, drinking water, because water helps you not to eat as much. It can be combated with stress reduction techniques where you're able to get your parasympathetic nervous system to relax.
Right.
All of those things, or to come into play, all of those things help you to reverse these resistances. And fasting, of course, is part of that as well.
And of course, the inflammation is, you don't have much inflammation, which is really a cause of most of the diseases.
Yeah. And yes, that's definitely something you want to help out as well. So as you go through those reasons, we've given you several reasons. So let's go back over the reasons we've given you. Let me get my little reason list so I can make sure that we would review the reasons we gave you. So reason number 7, eating more than you realize. So check first. Am I eating more than I realize? Get our food and mood journal. Start paying attention. What am I doing? Am I eating more than I need?
Yeah.
Am I eating late at night? Am I eating too often? Am I spiking my glucose? Blah, blah, blah. Reason number 6 is, are you calorie restricting too much? You're eating tiny amounts. You're restricting your calories so much because you so desperately want to lose weight that your body's in starvation mode. And it's like, no, ma'am. No, sir.
No.
Not letting 1 pound go. So check into that. Are you not giving your body the proper nutrients? We're not talking calories.
No.
We're talking nutrients. Are you giving it the proper nutrients so it can do what you're asking it to do, right? And then reason number 5 was weight loss resistance, which we said was a combination of multiple things, including what? Insulin resistance, leptin resistance, and the weight loss resistance in general. So that's 7, 6, and 5. So what is reason number 4? This is a good one. Sedentary. Reason number 4 is sedentary, or sedentary.
What the hell
However
is
you
sedentary?
Sedentary is when you're not moving.
Don't keep saying it. Sedentary.
Sedentary, not moving.
Sedentary. What's
Sedentary. You're not moving. You're not moving.
Okay.
Okay, we called it couch potato back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Lazy bones.
Oh yeah.
What else?
Sedentary.
You're not moving. You're not moving.
Yeah.
You're not moving.
Yeah, you're not moving.
Yeah, you're not moving.
So move.
And this society, 2024, people don't move. You sit at your desk all day. You're on the computer, or you're on your phone, or you're tied to some technology, or you're in your car driving around. And now with all of the, little side hustles, you're in your car dropping off this, dropping off that. When are you moving?
Movement.
You're not moving. No. You're not moving. And that lack of movement is extremely unhealthy. And it really sends the wrong message to your body, the message you don't want. There is a deception going on here.
Yeah, because lots of people too are taking weight loss medication.
And what does it say on the package? You don't even have to exercise. Just take this.
Can you stand that?
Drink this. Do this.
What good is that?
You don't even have to exercise. The weight will just melt off.
No.
Something's melting off. I don't know.
That's right. But you'll find out that isn't going to work.
The weight might melt off, but what weight is melting off is the question. Is it, are we getting, our muscles are atrophying because we're not moving, and what's going away is our muscle tissue? Like, what are we losing exactly? So not only that, but exercise is a very important part of reversing your insulin resistance. Exercise is an amazing way to help your body to be more insulin sensitive. Exercise. Also, being physical, it lowers your blood sugar in general. It controls your weight a little. It reduces your stress. I mean, because all the dopamine, the serotonin, all the adrenaline when you're moving, it just improves your overall health. And I think we've lost that a lot through the decades.
Especially our heart. You know, you really want your heart to be pumping. And you know what I find? I find burst. I don't know if you've ever heard this, but I find burst training very, very helpful. Of course, I do my aerobics. I like to go to water aerobics. And it's funny, I have a story about that. I probably mentioned this in one of the podcasts, Don't Die. You know how when the instructor, we have in our aerobic, water aerobics, either we're doing Zumba or we're doing the A2, what is it, 220 fitness, whatever. Actually, the music is the best part of all of it. As long as you got the music, I'm gone. But it's funny, too, because the instructor says to you, and they're so serious about this, and I can kind of get some of it. Now, remember, people, if your body, listen to your body. That's what she says. Listen to your body. Okay? If your body doesn't want to do something, either modify it or don't do it.
Right.
And I look at her. She's adorable. I love her. But I can't imagine why anybody would say to me, in particular, listen to your body. Because I'm going to tell you the truth, Jamie. I've probably said this to you many times, and you probably have it in a podcast somewhere. If I listened to my body, I wouldn't even be in that class. I'd be home. I'd either be in the bed,
Exactly.
or I'd be chilling out. There would be no way I would get to that aerobics class if I listened to my body.
Right.
My body needs to listen to me.
Right.
And I got to that point because I started listening to what I was doing to my body.
Mm-hmm.
And so for these years, listening and loving and trying to reverse every possible horrible thing I have done, unknowing, and some knowing, because I was, I was defiant. No, I want that cake. Oh, no, I want that ice cream. I did all of that. But now that I'm in the stage that I am, and I care for my temple, and I want to respect what God created, and I want all the stuff, and I'm going to wait for years. I'm sure it's going to take years, but it's working so well.
Yeah.
And it's happening.
It's a process.
That's right. But listening to my body, I just died. But anyway.
Now, on the other side of that coin,
there you go, because
you
there
need
is
to
another
listen
side.
to your body.
That's right. There is another side to it. I just don't do it.
You got to listen to your body, because we
true.
talked earlier in this episode about how your body will talk to you. It's telling you stuff. Listen to it.
And so that's a different reason.
It's a different, exactly.
It's a different aspect.
Exactly.
But let me go back to the burst. I found that the burst training, I think you call
it HIIT.
HIIT, yeah.
HIIT.
Yeah.
High intensity interval training.
That's it. I do a simple burst.
Yeah.
And just doing that 30-second or 60-second, then relax. And then go for it again. Some people call it, it's a...
Interval training?
That's a word, S word.
Okay.
Well, anyway, there's another word for it. But you do it 30 seconds or 60 seconds, then you stop 30 seconds or 60, then you go and you're bursting, you're doing that. If you do that about 4 or 5 times, and you do it a couple of times a day or a couple of times in the week, it's amazing, because you're pumping that, your heart is, and it's loving you for that.
Yeah.
So it doesn't take a whole lot.
Sure.
You don't have to be in a gym
for 2 hours.
You don't have to do all that. That's all it takes. Boom.
Yeah.
Burst.
Yeah, that's definitely.
I love it.
And that's when you're talking about exercise. And so we're saying movement. So we're like exercise and movement. So very distinct exercise, like aquatics or something. But then there's also just movement overall.
Yes.
So like move. Go for a walk outside. Go for a walk with friends. Maybe you like to swim or play tennis. Maybe you like to play basketball. Maybe you like to do jump rope, gymnastics. Maybe you like to dance. Whatever it is, you're moving your body. It could be a hobby, golfing, like whatever it is.
Yes.
It's moving. So we have exercise and movement. Some of the movement is for the fun of it, or the
Yes.
joy of a hobby or just being with friends. And some of it is training. Like I need to exercise these parts of my body because they don't get exercised very much. But you do need to move.
And if you're at an office and you're at your desk all day long, get up.
You got to get up and move around. They have standing desks now for that
I
reason.
know, they
because
do.
science has caught up with
They
the
do.
fact that sitting all day,
That's right.
sedentary,
That's right.
is bad.
Sedentary.
Is bad.
Yeah.
You need to get up. And by having a standing desk, you're sitting and standing, you're moving, you're circulating, you go somewhere, you walk away, you go talk to a friend, you know, all of that stuff. And being at home working alone sometimes, it can just really weigh on you and you just don't move. So you got to kind of be conscious of that. Call somebody, go for a walk, or just get outside or whatever.
And there's another thing they do. It's called neat or something. I don't know. But you just move your hand. Move.
This is
Isn't
really
it
neat,
crazy?
guys. Isn't this neat?
Just move.
I don't know what it's called.
It's the movement. You're sitting at your desk or whatever. Just move.
Yeah.
Move your feet. Do this. Do something.
Yeah, just get
Make your
yourself,
body move.
Yeah,
you
jump
know?
up and down a little
So
bit.
funny.
So there are many benefits to moving and exercise. So many benefits. And if you understand the scope of these benefits, it might encourage you to move and exercise more, even if you kind of don't like it. And to be honest, if you're sedentary,
I can't
if you're
do it, Jimmy.
sedentary,
can't do it no more,
if you're
Jamie.
not a mover or a shaker, it's hard to start moving. You know the law of physics, right? A body in motion stays in motion.
That's right.
But a body at rest stays at rest. If you have been sedentary all this time, it's hard to get up and move. But you gotta know there are so many good reasons. And some of them are these. Let me tell you, we've got quite a few. Let me get my intellect together. Ready? Okay, so let's do this list. There is, it promotes better sleep.
That's right.
Mood, it makes you feel better. Your mood is much better. Your mental health is
That's
in a
right.
very different place
That's
when you
right.
move and exercise. It relieves stress.
Yeah.
So many reasons. Your weight, it helps obviously with weight, but what about bone density in muscles?
All right.
You know, you're using your body, so your bones are being strengthened, your muscles are being strengthened, which means muscles use more calories, it burns more energy, it excels, gets the fat out when you use your muscles, the glycogen that's stored in them goes away. So much happens. And you're getting older, you want to be able to stand up straight. You need muscles and bone structure
true.
for that.
That's true.
They need to be strong, right? So that exercise and movement helps with that.
Mental health.
Absolutely. So much in your mentality has to do with that. And
Mental
hormones. Your hormones are balanced more by exercise and up. That's our
Beep,
time.
beep,
Our
beep.
time is up.
Hey, you beepy.
So let's wrap up. Okay, let's tell the beeper. Okay, we heard you. That was our time. So let's wrap up what we were saying. We were saying the amazing benefits of exercise and movement.
and
So we will
yes.
pick up there
Yeah.
when we come back with reason number 3, 2, and 1.
Okay.
In part 2 of this
Yes.
amazing
Yes.
question of how do I stop this whole weight gain?
I
and
know.
why can't I lose
My
weight?
God, why can't I?
Yeah, so thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Please hit the like button, hit the notification bell so that you can get each new video when it comes out. And please throw your comments down below so we can hear what are you thinking? What are you struggling with? And as you work through this, maybe check off the list and say, hey, I checked off reason 7 and 6, but it turned out mine was reason 5. You know,
Oh, right.
put it in the comments.
Let us know. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So thanks for listening. Definitely share with friends and come on back next time as we talk about
Hey.
the rest of the reasons.
Yes.
Yay.
Enjoy your day.
And take your temple
temples
back. Bye.